Yoga with Joyful. Joyful's my cat. She'll join us momentarily. Here she comes. There she is. This is her favorite part of the week, is having her very own yoga program. Today we don't need a mat. You don't need shoes. We don't need any props. Just something reasonably soft, because we're going to be rolling around on the floor and spending some time on our back today. So as with every time we have this practice, this is your practice. So make sure that you are comfortable with anything that I invite you to do. As always, if I invite you to do something that your body doesn't want to do, please don't do it. We are going to be exploring movement more than poses today. Just seeing what your body feels like allowing you to do today. We're not going to do anything exotic. Yoga Journal is not coming to check up on us. This is your practice. So you just want to make sure that you are completely comfortable with the practice. And I have to do a little cleanup here because Joyful enjoys dining out. And what that means is she brings her cat food to various places in the house so she can dine out. She won't go outside, but she'll dine in various places in the house. So as you find yourself settling, we're not going to get started just yet. I'm going to wait a few minutes so that people can join us. My name is Robin Bruckman. I've been teaching yoga for about 20 years. My background is in Iyengar-based yoga. I'm not an Iyengar teacher. That requires more teaching, more training than I have. But I have had a little bit of experience, and I look forward to inviting you to have a little bit more freedom in the body. So part of the reason that I enjoy having Joyful help us is that she models good body use and good elasticity in her body for us. Cats are very, very good at efficient body use, so that a relaxed cat is completely relaxed. And a hunting cat has complete muscle tone, whatever that cat needs for the mission at hand. And that's sort of our goal for our own bodies, is to use as much tone as we need and no more. So part of today's practice is going to be exploring places in our bodies where there might be holding too much tension, or places that it's hard to breathe in. So we'll go ahead and get started. Find a comfortable seated position. Close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. And just begin to explore the body that you brought to your practice today. As you breathe, notice any areas that seem stuck or tight. Notice the areas where the breath flows easily. Notice how your shoulders feel. Do they hang loosely down from the shoulder girdle, or is there some tension in the upper back? Notice how your hips feel. Often, people in our culture tend to have tight hips, and I would be one of those people. Notice the ease or the tightness of your breathing. And notice where in your body the breath goes. There's no need to change anything at this point. We're just noticing. We're just going to be aware of things. Notice your two seat bones, inviting equal weight into two seat bones. And just enjoy being in this body. And we're going to explore a little bit of movement. So open your eyes, interlace your fingers, palms away, arms overhead, stretching side to side, inviting the spine to open, looking up underneath that top arm as you turn from side to side. Just inviting a little easy movement into the spine. And release your hands, interlock your hands behind you, palms away from the body, shoulder blades together, looking up, hands away from the body, opening the heart center, looking like the lady on the front of a ship. Just allowing a little bit more opening to the front side of the body. Release your hands, place your right hand down, left arm up overhead, stretching carefully to the right, opening the left side of the body, inviting the left seat bone to stay down. It wants to jump up, and it's going to lose some weight, but invite it to stay as grounded as it is interested in doing today. And press up, left hand down, right arm up, opening the right side of the body, looking underneath that right arm, really opening, and noticing how this side differs than the other side. This is very normal. Just noticing, not trying to change anything. Just noticing. And now come back to neutral. Place your hands on your thighs or on your knees. We're going to do stir the pot. So just a very gentle movement in one direction. Gazing upward when you come forward, gazing downward as you go back. Noticing any areas that might be sticky. Again, you don't need to change anything, just noticing. And go slowly enough that even if there's a sticky place, it doesn't get stuck. Stir the pot. Noticing how the spine undulates with this movement. Noticing how much or how little your shoulders are involved here. There's no right answer. Just noticing. Come to center and change direction. And noticing, again, are there any sticky places? Does this side feel different than the other side? Can you stay more grounded this way or less grounded? Just notice. Are your shoulders more involved or less involved this direction? Pet the cat as she comes by. Come back to neutral. And now we're going to do seated cat and cow. So the action of cow is to come forward, arching the back, looking up. That's an inhale. And the action of cat is to round the back, look down, exhale. And in your own time, inhale forward and up, lengthening the spine for cow. Exhale, folding down, rounding the back out behind you, hanging off your knees. Following your own breath. Back to neutral spine, and we're going to begin a little bit more of a movement practice. So we're going to repeat some of these actions that we've already done, but we're going to do them in movement. So we're going to start with a side stretch. So right hand down beside you, left arm, you're going to gaze at your left hand. It comes up and over, back and down, up and over, back and down. Just following your own body's timing. And noticing if this movement changes as we repeat it. Does it get easier, smoother? Does it stay the same? The object isn't to go deeper and deeper, it's just to notice the quality of your movement. And come back to neutral. Left hand down, pet the cat. Right arm up and over. Back and forth, just at your own time, just opening the body. And come back to neutral. All right, now we're going to come to the back body, and I'm sitting on a foam pad, and I'm going to move it out of the way because we're just going to be down on the floor for now. So come down to your back body, knees are bent, feet are fairly close to your body, arms away from the body, and just allow your spine to settle down into the floor. And notice the movement that occurs as you breathe. As you inhale, my spine curves up a little bit, and as I exhale, my spine comes back down to the floor a little bit more. Just notice that little movement with your breath. And if your body does a different movement, that's perfect, doesn't matter. Just noticing is the object here. And now allow your pelvis to tilt a little bit with your breath. So with an inhale, tailbone goes down to the floor a little bit. As you exhale, the back flattens to the floor a little bit. Belly comes down. Following your own breath, allowing the pelvis to lead this movement. Now notice what happens with your chin as you do this movement. Does your chin move also? Is there a little rocking of your head as your breath opens and closes? Now come to neutral, and you can still allow this movement to happen with your breath. And you're just going to wiggle your knees left and right, not all the way down. Sometimes we do that. Not all the way down, just a little bit. Just allowing the hips to have a little bit more mobility. And let your nose go in the same direction as your knees. Now notice the two sides of your pelvis. Do they react evenly on each side to the floor? Often one side has more contact with the floor than the other. Doesn't matter, just notice. And now, next time the knees come to center, we're going to repeat that action, but this time the head goes in the opposite direction. Are your shoulders involved in this movement? Are there glitchy places, or is this completely smooth? Does one leg move more easily than the other? Now come to neutral, and now you're going to roll completely over to your right side so that your palms are together, knees are stacked on top of each other. Feet are stacked on top of each other. Head is neutral. And now we're going to begin to sway a little bit towards the left side. Just a little bit of movement. So the palms drift on each other. So that left arm sweeps in front of that right hand, and then it comes behind. Just noticing how this movement feels. Very simple movement. Allowing your legs to do whatever feels right. Noticing how your hips feel. Because this moves, particularly that top hip, in a slightly different way than it's accustomed to moving. And now with the arm movement staying the same, you can begin to open that left leg a little bit and let the knee do the same action as the hands are doing. So let the knee come in front, let the knee come behind and maybe lift up. You can let the head roll with this movement if you like. And now allow the leg movement to be a little bigger. So maybe the leg begins to open a little bit more. Maybe the shoulders start to get more involved. Feeling the movement in your rib cage. Isn't that interesting? And now if you wish, you can begin to allow the upper body to open a little bit more. Let the leg continue. And you can, this is just an exploration of movement. This is more movement than poses today. Just allowing your body to have a little bit more freedom within itself, within the skin capsule. Isn't that interesting? Now come back to the starting position. So palms are together, knees are together. You're just resting on your side. And notice how your body feels just resting here. Now we're going to let that top leg do a little exploration. So straighten that top leg. If it doesn't want to go completely straight, that's fine. You just move it forward and back. And notice what else in your body wants to accompany this movement, and you can allow that to happen. If the shoulders want to help, that's fine. If the upper body wants to help, that's fine. Just noticing the quality of movement. Now come back to the starting position, and with minimal effort, roll onto your back with your knees bent. Just rest there. You can let your arms be down by your side. Just rest. Let your body process this information. And then roll all the way over onto your left side. So the hands stack, the palms stack, the knees stack. Notice that this side feels a little different. Very normal. And now begin to allow the top arm to slide. Notice any sensations in your neck, sensations in your rib cage, anything in the shoulders. Notice how your back feels. Notice how your breathing is. And then you can allow that top leg to begin to be involved in this movement as much as it wishes to. You can let your head be involved in this movement if it wants to. And begin to open that leg a little more, maybe. It's up to you. It's your practice. And now come back to the starting position, palms together, knees together. And you can straighten that bottom leg, the top leg, sorry, the right leg. And begin to allow that to open, move upward. Just exploring movement with that top leg. Noticing if there are glitchy places. You don't need to do anything about it, just notice. And now come back to the starting position, knees together, palms together. Just rest there. And now with minimal effort, roll back onto your back, knees stay bent. Arms down away from your side, palms face up. Just notice how you feel. Now we're going to look at Happy Baby, and we're going to do it a little bit differently today. Normally, we bring the knees up, thread the hands between the knees, hold the outside of the feet. This will be Happy Baby, okay? Feet face up towards the ceiling. But today we're going to hold the back of the thighs. Again, let the feet face up towards the ceiling for starters. Shoulder blades are flat on the floor, but we're going to do this in movement a little bit. So you could extend the right leg a little bit, looking there. Fold it back in, extend the left leg, looking at the left foot. Just extending one leg and then the other. Noticing that there's a little roll to the body there. Noticing how one side feels different than the other. And you can allow a little bit more roll to each side if you wish. And noticing how that impacts the rest of your back and your spine. Shoulders get involved here. How about that? Now come back to neutral, place your feet on the floor. Palms are down, arms are down away from your body a little bit, palms face up. And now we're going to look at that pelvic tilting again, that action of pelvic tilting. So with your inhale, the low back comes away from the body a little bit, tailbone goes down. Exhale, belly button comes down towards your body. Chin comes down. Inhale, tilting forward. Exhale, tilting back. And notice if this action has changed since we did this just a few minutes ago. Come back to neutral and just allow whatever pelvic tilt happens just with your breath, but not exaggerating. Just in a resting position. And notice how your pelvis feels on the floor now. Is it any different than it was earlier? Okay, now we roll the palms down, bring the palms closer to the body, closer to the pelvis. Pull each shoulder blade underneath your body, so your shoulders are going to have a little support here. And you're going to press up into bridge pose, slowly. Rest there, continue breathing there in bridge pose. Noticing that now your shoulders are carrying more weight. The action of your knees is to push away from your body, and that helps support your bridge. And now let your pelvis come down towards the floor, but not all the way. And then press back up very slowly. Noticing if your two legs push evenly, if they do the same amount of work. And we go up and down slowly enough that you can pay attention. Neck stays free. Breath stays easy. Hands are relaxed. Your shoulders are working pretty hard here. Maybe the upper arms. See if you can allow your pelvis to float up and then float down. And now allow the pelvis to come all the way down to the earth. Pull your knees into your chest. Wrap your arms around your legs. And you can rock from side to side if that feels good to you. And now let your feet come back down to the earth. Let both legs stretch flat. Toes point up. And we're going to look at one-legged toe pose, big toe pose, Supta Padangusthasana, but without a prop. So allow your right leg to come up as much as it wants to, straight or fairly straight. You can hold the back of the thigh. We're just going to rest here in this position so the left leg stays very active. The right leg is clearly active. And just notice how you feel here. And now we're going to begin to draw circles with that right leg. And notice where you feel this action. It could be in the hamstring, it could be in the hip joint, could be in the pelvis, could be in the sacrum, could be all of those. It's unlikely to be none of them. Notice if there's part of the circle that is easier than another part. Notice if there's a part that feels glitchy. And now stop, in whichever direction you were going, go the other way. Now, I didn't give you a direction for the first time, so your body picks the easy direction. So sort of by definition, this direction will feel different, weird maybe. Like you're drawing circles on the ceiling with your bottom of your feet. Now fold that leg and let it rest down on the floor. And notice your two legs, okay? Now draw that left leg up. Hands come around the back of the thigh. Just resting here for a moment. Right leg stays active, left leg is active, both legs are active. And begin to draw circles with your foot on the ceiling. And notice if the action on this leg feels different than the other leg. and change direction. Noticing how your pelvis feels, back of the thigh, hip, sacrum, your shoulders on the floor. Notice your breathing. And stop. Fold that leg. Let both legs go down. Let your feet be completely relaxed. And just notice how you feel. Just really pay attention to your whole body. If you want to wiggle around to do that, that's fine. All right, now fold your legs again. Knees are fairly close together. Really grounding through your shoulders. Place your right ankle on your left knee. Let that right knee fall out to the side. And we're not going to do anything yet, okay? So just let that rest. And now begin to move that right knee up and down a little bit. I mean, usually when we do eye of the needle, we bring that whole assembly up towards us. So today, we're going to think about pushing the knee away. Not with force, just inviting it to go whatever range it wants to. Allowing that right hip to feel more lubricated. And we do this without great effort. This is not a lot of effort here. All right, now the arms go completely away from the body. Let your knees come together. So your legs are crossed, knees are together, and you're going to lift everything up a little bit and then wiggle from side to side. Slowly. Your feet can be up or they can stay on the mat, on the floor, your choice. Turning your head in the opposite direction. Noticing how this movement feels in your body. Come back to neutral and let both feet come down to the mat, to the floor. Hands come closer to the body. Place that left ankle on the right knee. And let that left knee fall out to the side as much as it's interested in doing today. Just let it rest there. And then you can begin to move that left knee away from you any amount. Just noticing how this action feels today. Noticing how this compares to the other side. I'm just inviting a little bit more mobility, that's all. There's no right and wrong. Yoga Journal's not here. Come to neutral, let both knees come together, arms out to the side, and then let your knees fall one side and then the other. Feet can stay on the floor or come up, your choice. Just noticing how this action feels in itself and then mildly comparing it to the other side. Notice if your shoulders stay grounded or if one wants to jump up. Notice how your neck feels. Notice how your belly feels. And come to neutral. Uncross your legs. Let your feet be wider apart. Hands are still wide. And then we're going to let both knees fall to the right, looking to the left. Left side of the pelvis probably comes up. That's fine. Duryodhasana. Inhale the knees up. Exhale, knees fall to the left. Looking to the right. Duryodhasana. And then following your own breath, your own body, back and forth. Noticing how your sacrum feels with this action. Noticing if one side is easier or more comfortable. And as you complete a set, let your knees stay up, and you can let your legs go straight on the floor. I'm going to sit up. You're going to sit up for Shavasana. So pull each shoulder blade underneath your body so your palms face up. Close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. Allow your body to settle into the floor. Your brain rests in the back of the skull. Eyes settle into the back of the socket. Facial features are soft. Breath is easy. Allow your tongue to rest in the bottom of the mouth. Jaw softly parted. Back of the neck is long and wide. Throat is open. Feel your shoulder blades flat on the floor. Upper arms are heavy. Fingers slightly curled. Collarbones are long. Feel your ribs moving on the floor with your breath. The sternum rises and falls with the breath. Belly is soft. Lower back is wide and long. Allow your organs to rest towards your back body. Feel your sacrum resting on the floor. Allow the wings of your pelvis to open. Hips are soft. Thighs are heavy. Feet are relaxed. And return to the sensation of the breath. The belly rises and falls with the breath. Thank your body for allowing you to have a physical practice today. Take a deeper breath and begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. And begin to roll to your right side and rest there. With the strength of your arms, press yourself up to seated. Bring your hands to heart center. Bow your head to your heart. I honor the place within you where the entire universe exists. I honor the place within you of peace, of joy, of light, and of love. I honor the place within you where, if you are in that place in you, and I am in that place in me, there can be only one of us. Namaste. Rub your palms together to generate warmth. Place your palms over your closed eyes. Open your eyes into the darkness and return your hands to heart center. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me. I'm so glad you came. Please take good care of yourself for the rest of the day. Drink plenty of water and notice the quality of your movement as you get up from your mat. Get up slowly, be mindful, don't be in a hurry to rejoin the real world. Enjoy the sensations. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you came.